You might have heard it before. Nobody cares. It's a harsh truth, but one that's worth understanding. The world doesn't owe you success, recognition, or an easy path. If you're waiting for things to be handed to you, or for someone to come along and make everything better, you're in for a hard wake-up call. The real change, the real success, the real satisfaction comes from within you. It comes from your willingness to put in the work, day in and day out, no matter who notices, no matter who's cheering you on. It comes from focusing on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, your discipline. The truth is, nobody cares as much about your dreams and goals as you do. It's up to you to make things happen. No one's going to hand you the life you want. But here's the thing. Once you realize that, and once you take full responsibility for your success, you'll find that your power is limitless. The road will be tough, but if you focus on yourself, your goals, and the work that needs to be done, you can create anything you set your mind to. Today we're diving into this powerful truth. It's time to stop waiting for things to be handed to you. It's time to work harder than you ever have before. It's time to focus on what really matters, yourself, your future, and the path you choose to take. Stay with me because the key to unlocking the success you desire is in your hands. Let's talk about how to take full control and make things happen. Number 1, no one owes you anything. Let me tell you something straight. Something most people are too afraid to say. Nobody owes you anything. Not a single thing. And if you truly get that, if you let that idea sink deep into your bones, it will change your life forever. You see, a lot of people walk around feeling like the world should give them something. They think their parents owe them a better start in life. They think their boss owes them a promotion just because they've been there a while. They think society owes them an easier path. But let me be very clear, life doesn't work that way. The truth is harsh, but it's also freeing. You're not entitled to anything, and that's okay. Now, before you start thinking that sounds cold or unfair, hear me out. The beauty of this truth is that it puts all the power back in your hands. Nobody owes you success, but nobody's standing in your way either. Nobody owes you happiness, but that means you get to create it for yourself. It's your life, your choices, your responsibility. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than realizing that. Here's the thing. When you believe someone owes you something, you give away your control. You sit around waiting. You wait for someone to notice your potential. You wait for the perfect opportunity to fall in your lap. You wait for life to hand you what you think you deserve. But let me ask you, how much time do you think you'll waste sitting there, waiting for something that's never coming? Nobody's coming to save you. That's not because people don't care. It's because everyone's fighting their own battles. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, they all have their own lives to figure out. And that's not a bad thing. It just means you can't rely on anyone else to do the work for you. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I had a mentor who changed the way I looked at life. I was young, broke, and frustrated. I thought the world was being unfair to me. I thought I deserved more. And I remember telling him, "Why won't anyone help me? Why doesn't someone give me a chance?" You know what he said? He looked me in the eye and said, "Jim, the moment you stop waiting for someone else to solve your problems is the moment you'll start living your life." At first, I didn't like hearing that. It felt like he was dismissing my struggles. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized he was right. I was wasting time feeling sorry for myself when I could have been out there doing something about it. And that's what I want to tell you today. Stop waiting for life to be fair. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the right time or the right circumstances. Those things may never come. But what can come, what will come, is the result of your effort, your focus, and your determination. Now, I'm not saying life doesn't throw challenges your way. It absolutely does. Some people have it harder than others, no doubt about it. But even then, the choice is yours. Are you going to let those challenges define you? Or are you going to rise above them? Because I've seen people start with nothing, no money, no connections, no advantages, and they've gone on to achieve extraordinary things. How? They took responsibility for their lives. They stopped blaming the world, and they started asking themselves, what can I do today to change my situation? Taking responsibility isn't easy, but it's the first step toward real freedom. When you stop expecting the world to hand you something, you start taking action. You start looking for opportunities instead of excuses. You stop waiting for luck, and you start creating it. That's when the magic happens. And let me tell you, when you earn something through your own hard work, it feels 100 times better than when it's handed to you. There's a deep sense of pride that comes with knowing you put in the effort. You overcame the obstacles, and you made it happen. That's a feeling nobody can take away from you. So what does this mean for you right now, today? It means you need to stop wasting energy on things you can't control. Stop blaming your circumstances, your past, or other people. Start focusing on what you can control. Your mindset, your actions, your habits. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to move closer to my goals? It doesn't have to be big. It could be as simple as making a plan, learning a new skill, or taking that first step you've been putting off. The important thing is that you start. And remember, nobody owes you success, but you owe it to yourself to try. You owe it to yourself to give everything you've got. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what other people think or what they do for you. It's about the life you build for yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting. Stop complaining. Stop looking for shortcuts. Roll up your sleeves. Put in the work and take full ownership of your life. Nobody owes you anything, but that's the best news you'll ever hear. Because it means you've got everything you need right here, right now, to create the life you want. Number 2, results speak louder. Success doesn't come from what you say you're going to do, or from the dreams you keep locked in your head. It comes from results, plain and simple. Results don't lie, and they don't leave room for excuses. They are the ultimate proof of what you've been doing when nobody was watching. The evidence of your effort, discipline, and persistence. If you want to change your life, if you want to make an impact, focus on delivering results. Here's the truth. Nobody cares about your intentions if they don't see the outcomes. You can talk about your big plans all day long, but words won't build a better future for you. What will? Showing up and doing the work. Not once, not twice, but every single day. Results aren't about luck or some magical breakthrough. They're about consistently doing what needs to be done. Even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when nobody is there to clap for you. Let's get real here. In life, people don't remember the person who almost made it, or the person who meant to try harder. They remember the person who got the job done. Results speak louder than promises, louder than excuses, louder than any explanation you can give for why things didn't work out. People don't want to hear your reasons for falling short. They want to see your ability to rise above challenges and make things happen. I'll tell you why this is so important. When you focus on results, you're forced to take responsibility for your actions. You can't hide behind distractions, procrastination, or blame. You're either moving forward or you're not. And if you're not, that's on you. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about being honest with yourself. Are you doing the work? Are you putting in the effort? Or are you just going through the motions, hoping that somehow things will magically change? Change doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you decide to do something about it. Because you choose to push through discomfort, frustration, and fear to get to where you want to be. Results aren't given, they're earned. And the beautiful thing is, when you start to see those results, it creates a ripple effect. Every little win builds momentum, fuels your confidence, and reminds you that you're capable of so much more than you thought. But here's the part most people miss. Results require patience. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant gratification. Everyone wants quick fixes and overnight success. But the truth is, real, lasting results take time. They take effort. They take grit. And you have to be willing to put in the work without seeing the rewards right away. You've got to keep planting the seeds, even when you don't see the harvest yet. That's where most people give up. They lose faith too soon. Don't be one of them. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that results are a reflection of your habits. If your habits are weak, inconsistent, or reactive, your results will reflect that. But if your habits are intentional, disciplined, and focused, the results will follow. It's that simple. You don't need to complicate the process. Stick to the basics, show up, do the work, and stay consistent. Now let's talk about why results matter so much. Not just to others, but to you. When you see progress, no matter how small, it reminds you that your effort isn't wasted. It's a reminder that your actions have power. Every step forward is proof that you're capable of more than you thought. And that's what builds confidence. Not empty praise or participation trophies, but real, tangible progress that you've earned with your own hands. There's something deeply fulfilling about knowing you've done the work. It gives you a sense of pride and ownership over your life. Nobody handed it to you. Nobody did it for you. You showed up, you put in the effort, and now you get to reap the rewards. That feeling is priceless, and it's something nobody can take away from you. But let me tell you this, results aren't just about achieving your goals. They're about who you become in the process. The person you become when you commit to doing the work, when you push through resistance, when you refuse to quit, that's the real prize. The results are just the evidence of the transformation that's happening inside you. So what does this mean for you today? It means you need to get clear about what you want and what it's going to take to get there. Be honest with yourself. Are your actions aligned with the results you want to see? If not, it's time to make some changes. It's time to stop talking and start doing. And don't worry about perfection. It's not about getting everything right all the time. It's about showing up, learning from your mistakes, and staying committed to the process. Results don't require you to be perfect. They require you to be persistent. Here's the bottom line. If you want people to take you seriously, if you want to earn their respect, focus on results. Let your actions do the talking. Let your progress be the proof. Don't waste time explaining yourself or seeking validation. Just put in the work and let the results speak for themselves. And remember, results aren't just about impressing others. They're about proving to yourself what you're capable of. They're about building a life that reflects your potential, your values, and your vision. That's what matters most. So get out there and start creating the results you want to see. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Because every moment you spend waiting is a moment you'll never get back. And trust me, the satisfaction of seeing your hard work pay off is worth every ounce of effort you put in. Now it's up to you. Will you stay where you are, or will you step up and start delivering the results that will change your life? The choice is yours. Go make it happen. Number 3. Hard work is non-negotiable. The road to success is paved with effort, and there's no way around it. If you want something, you have to work for it. Period. Hard work is non-negotiable. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how many connections you have, or how many opportunities cross your path. If you're not willing to put in the effort, none of it will matter. Hard work is the great equalizer. It's the one thing that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Most people don't want to hear that. They want shortcuts, hacks, or some secret formula that will give them results without the grind. But life doesn't work like that. Success isn't handed out on a silver platter. It's earned through consistent effort, focus, and determination. And here's the truth. The harder you work, the luckier you get. When you show up, day in and day out, opportunities start to find you. But they won't come knocking if you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for things to happen. Hard work isn't glamorous. It's not the highlight reel you see on social media. It's the early mornings, the late nights, and the moments when you're exhausted, but you keep going anyway. It's doing the things most people don't want to do because you know they'll get you closer to where you want to be. It's making sacrifices, staying disciplined, and showing up even when you don't feel like it. Think about this for a moment. What would happen if you committed yourself fully to your goals? If you stopped making excuses, stopped procrastinating, and started taking massive action every single day? Imagine the kind of progress you could make. Imagine the life you could build. That's what hard work can do for you. It can turn your dreams into reality. But let's be honest, it's not easy. There will be days when you doubt yourself, when you feel like giving up, when the effort seems too much. That's when hard work matters the most. Anyone can work hard when they're motivated, but the real test is whether you can keep going when the motivation fades. Can you push through the discomfort, the setbacks, and the uncertainty? That's what separates the achievers from everyone else. Here's something else to think about. Hard work isn't just about the results you get. It's about who you become in the process. When you work hard, you build character. You develop resilience, grit, and a sense of pride in what you've accomplished. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. That's what makes the effort worthwhile. You can't cheat the process. You can't skip steps or take the easy way out. If you want something, you have to earn it. And the only way to earn it is through hard work. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up every day, doing your best, and refusing to quit, no matter what. Hard work also teaches you to appreciate the journey. When you've poured your heart and soul into something, the success tastes sweeter. You know you've earned it. You know what it took to get there, and that sense of accomplishment, that's something nobody can take away from you. You might be thinking, But what if I work hard and still don't succeed? That's a valid concern. But here's the thing. Hard work doesn't guarantee success. But it does guarantee growth. Even if you fall short of your goal, the effort you put in will make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next challenge. Failure isn't the end, it's just a stepping stone on the way to something greater. So ask yourself this: are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to do what it takes? Even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when nobody is watching. Because that's what it takes to succeed. There's no magic wand, no secret shortcut. Just you, your effort, and your willingness to show up and do the work. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Don't let the opinions of others distract you. Focus on your goals, stay disciplined, and keep pushing forward. The path won't always be smooth, but every step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. And remember this: hard work is a habit. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's like building a muscle. At first it's tough. You'll feel the strain, the discomfort, the resistance. But if you keep at it, you'll get stronger. You'll build momentum. And before you know it, hard work will become second nature. Your future depends on the effort you're willing to put in today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the right circumstances. Start now, right where you are, with what you have. Take one step, and then another, and then another. The results will come, but only if you're willing to do the work. Success isn't about talent, luck, or opportunity. It's about effort. It's about showing up, doing the work, and staying the course. That's the secret. That's the formula. It's not easy, but it's worth it. So roll up your sleeves, get to work, and make it happen. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can create the life you want is you. Number 4, focus on what you can control. You have more control over your life than you think. You might not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you absolutely have the power to decide how you respond. Focus on what you can control. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos of life, to get overwhelmed by everything that's happening around you. But here's the thing: all that noise and all that distraction will only keep you stuck. If you want to move forward, you have to focus on what's within your control and leave the rest behind. The truth is, most of us spend far too much time worrying about things we can't change. We stress about what other people think, about things that are beyond our reach, about the things we have no power over. And when we do that, we lose sight of what really matters, what we can change. You can't control the economy, the weather, or the actions of others, but you can control how you show up each day. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your mindset. You can decide to put in the work, to keep pushing forward, and to make the most of every opportunity. Focus on what you can control, and you'll realize just how much power you have. There's an old saying that goes, energy flows where attention goes. And it's true. The more you focus on what you can control, the more you'll find that you have the energy, the clarity, and the drive to make real progress. When you stop wasting your time on things that don't serve you, you free up mental space and emotional energy to tackle what truly matters. One of the biggest obstacles to success is the tendency to blame external factors for our struggles. If only I had more time, we say. If only I had more resources. If only the world were a little bit easier. But those kinds of thoughts only hold you back. When you focus on things outside your control, you disempower yourself. You give away your power to things you can't change. Now, I'm not saying that life isn't tough, or that circumstances don't play a role in your journey. Of course they do. But the way you respond to those circumstances is entirely up to you. You can't control the cards you're dealt, but you can choose how you play the hand. Life will throw obstacles your way. That's inevitable. But how you react to those challenges is your choice. Will you let them defeat you, or will you use them as fuel to keep going? The key is to keep your focus on what you can control. You can control your effort, your attitude, and your habits. You can control your time and how you spend it. You can control your response to adversity. And if you focus on these things, you'll start to see that you have more power than you realize. I know it's easy to get distracted by the things that are beyond your control. We live in a world where there's always something happening, always something to react to, always something to worry about. But the most successful people don't get caught up in that noise. They focus on what they can change and leave the rest behind. Think about the things you can control in your life. You can control how much effort you put into your work. You can control the choices you make each day. You can control your habits, your routines, and the way you approach challenges. All of these things are within your control, and all of them have the power to shape your life in meaningful ways. If you focus on controlling what you can, you'll find that you start making progress even when things feel out of your control. Success isn't just about the big wins. It's about the little victories you achieve every day by making the right choices. It's about staying disciplined, sticking to your goals, and doing the work even when the world around you feels uncertain. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have all the answers or all the resources. What you need is the ability to focus on what you can control and to keep moving forward, one step at a time. The more you focus on what you can control, the more you'll realize that you're in the driver's seat of your life. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about recognizing that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond to what's happening around you. You can control your mindset, your actions, and your commitment to your goals. And when you do that, you'll start to see things shift in your favor. Here's the reality. Life will always throw challenges your way. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, and roadblocks. But those challenges don't define you. How you respond to them does. If you focus on what you can control, you'll build the resilience, strength, and mindset you need to keep going, no matter what life throws at you. So take a moment to think about the things that are within your control. How can you show up better today? What habits can you build? What steps can you take toward your goals, no matter how small? The more you focus on what you can control, the more power you'll have over your own life. You have the ability to shape your future. It's not determined by outside circumstances, by other people, or by things you can't change. It's determined by the choices you make, by the focus you bring, and by the action you take. So focus on what you can control, and watch how your life begins to transform. Every small step you take toward controlling your response, your effort, and your mindset will lead you to bigger results. You've got this. Number 5, discipline builds momentum. Success doesn't just happen overnight, and it doesn't come by accident. It's the result of consistent effort, day in and day out. It's not the big, flashy moments that matter most. It's the small, disciplined actions you take every single day that shape your future. When you make discipline a part of who you are, it becomes the force that moves you forward, even when the road gets tough. Discipline is what gets you up in the morning when you'd rather sleep in. It's what keeps you working toward your goals, even when things aren't going the way you want them to. It's the steady, quiet force that drives you to keep going, even when the world seems to be telling you to quit. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of your emotions, your impulses, and your circumstances. But with discipline, you take control. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't require motivation. Motivation comes and goes, and it's easy to rely on it to get things done. But motivation is fickle. Some days you'll wake up feeling ready to take on the world, and other days you'll struggle just to get out of bed. That's where discipline comes in. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care about your mood or the circumstances around you. Discipline says, it's time to do the work, no matter what. When you commit to discipline, you're committing to showing up every day. Whether you feel like it or not, you're committing to doing the hard work, even when it's not easy. You're committing to making progress, even if it's slow. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about doing what needs to be done, day after day, with the understanding that progress takes time. The key to building discipline is creating habits that support your goals. You can't expect to change your life without changing your daily habits. If you want to get in shape, you can't just hope that it will happen. You have to show up for your workouts, day after day, and make healthier choices consistently. If you want to succeed in your career, you have to put in the work every day, whether it's learning something new, improving your skills, or taking the steps that move you closer to your goal. Every action you take, no matter how small, adds up over time. The person you are today is the result of the habits you've built over the years, and the person you'll be tomorrow will be the result of the habits you build today. If you want to change your life, you have to change your habits, and the best way to do that is to build discipline. Start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire life at once. Focus on one habit at a time and build from there. It could be something as simple as waking up 30 minutes earlier to work on your goals, or spending just 10 minutes a day learning something new. The important thing is that you're showing up consistently and doing the work. As you build discipline, you'll start to see the results of your efforts. It won't always be immediate, but it will come. Discipline doesn't promise instant gratification, but it does promise long-term success. The more you stick to your commitments, the more momentum you'll build, and momentum is powerful. When you start to see progress, no matter how small, it motivates you to keep going. That's how discipline creates momentum. The more disciplined you become, the easier it gets to stay disciplined. It's like building a muscle. At first it's hard, it feels uncomfortable, and you might question whether it's worth it. But the more you work at it, the stronger you get, and eventually, it becomes second nature. Discipline isn't something you have to think about anymore. It becomes a part of who you are. There's another key benefit to discipline. It builds your confidence. When you stick to your commitments, even when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. You show yourself that you have what it takes to push through obstacles, to keep going when others might quit. And that's powerful. The more you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges, the more confident you become in your ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. But discipline isn't always easy. It's not about taking the easy path. It's about doing what's right, even when it's difficult. It's about having the courage to keep going when the going gets tough. And when you build that kind of discipline, you become unstoppable. Think about the people you admire most. The ones who have achieved great things in their lives, whether it's in their career, their health, or their personal development. What do they all have in common? They're disciplined. They've committed to doing the work, day in and day out, and that's what has gotten them to where they are. You can do the same thing. You have the same potential, but it starts with discipline. It starts with making the decision to show up, even when it's hard. It starts with creating habits that align with your goals. It starts with committing to consistency, no matter how long it takes. If you want to create lasting change in your life, build discipline, because discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the foundation of success. And when you build discipline, you're not just building a habit, you're building the life you want. So start today. Choose one area of your life where you want to be more disciplined and commit to it. Take small steps, but take them consistently. And watch how the power of discipline transforms your life, one day at a time. Number 6, your environment shapes you. Your environment is shaping you more than you realize. The people you spend time with, the places you go, the things you allow into your mind, all of it is influencing who you are and what you will become. And here's the hard truth. If you want to change your life, you first have to change your environment. Look around you. Are the people in your life pushing you to be better? Or are they pulling you down? Are the conversations you have with others inspiring growth? Or are they holding you back? The truth is, we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with negative, small-minded individuals, don't be surprised when you start to think and act the same way. But if you surround yourself with people who are focused on growth, who challenge you to become your best self, that's when your life starts to change. This isn't just about the people around you. It's about the environment you create for yourself in every area of your life. Your physical space matters. The place you wake up in, the space you work in, the way you organize your life. It all affects your mindset. If you wake up to a cluttered room, a messy desk, and chaos all around you, your mind will be cluttered too. It's hard to focus, hard to feel at peace, and hard to take action when you're surrounded by disorder. But when you create a clean, organized, and inspiring space, it sends a signal to your mind that you're ready for success. It's a small but powerful step in transforming the way you think and work. The same goes for what you consume. The books you read, the videos you watch, the music you listen to, they all feed your mind. And your mind is like a garden. If you plant weeds, don't expect to grow beautiful flowers. If you fill your mind with negativity, gossip, and mindless entertainment, that's what you'll harvest in your life. But when you fill your mind with positivity, growth, and learning, that's what you'll start to see reflected in your actions and results. Now, I know you can't always control every single person or situation around you, but you can control your choices. You have the power to choose who you spend time with, what you expose yourself to, and how you spend your days. And those choices will determine your environment. It's up to you to build a space that nurtures your dreams, your goals, and your personal growth. Start with your inner circle. Look at the people you surround yourself with. Are they lifting you up? Or are they dragging you down? Are they pushing you to think bigger? Or are they holding you back with their small thinking? You don't need a lot of people in your life. What matters is that the people you spend time with are aligned with the person you want to become. You need individuals who are on a similar journey, who challenge you to be better, and who support your goals. When you surround yourself with those kinds of people, you'll find yourself rising to the occasion. You'll notice that the conversations change. Instead of talking about how hard life is or how everything is unfair, you'll start talking about the steps you're taking to improve, the habits you're building, the goals you're working toward. When you're around the right people, there's no time for complaining. Instead, you're constantly learning, growing, and pushing each other forward. If the people around you aren't supporting your dreams, or if they're constantly dragging you into negativity, it's time to make a change. I'm not saying you have to cut everyone off, but it might be time to set some boundaries. You need to protect your energy and your time. Don't allow people to take up space in your life if they aren't contributing to your growth. You deserve to be around people who elevate you, not people who bring you down. But it's not just about people, it's also about your environment at home and at work. What kind of space are you creating for yourself? Is it one that inspires focus, creativity, and productivity? Or is it one that drains your energy and distracts you from your goals? Small changes in your physical environment can have a huge impact on your mindset. Start by decluttering your space. Clear your desk, make your bed, organize your work area. When you walk into a clean and organized space, it immediately puts you in a better frame of mind. You'll feel more focused, more motivated, and more ready to take on the day. Take it a step further. Create a space that inspires you. Put up quotes that motivate you. Hang up pictures of your dreams, the life you want to create. Surround yourself with things that remind you of why you're working so hard. Your environment should be a constant reminder of your goals and your potential. And don't forget about what you feed your mind. Your mind is just like your body. If you feed it junk, you're going to feel sluggish and uninspired. But if you feed it with knowledge, positivity, and inspiration, it will fuel you to take action. Make it a habit to read books that inspire you. Listen to podcasts that challenge your thinking. Watch videos that make you want to be better. The more you feed your mind with good stuff, the more you'll see that reflected in your life. The people around you, your physical space, and what you consume, all of these things are shaping your future. If you want to change your life, start by changing your environment. Create a space that supports your goals. Surround yourself with people who challenge and encourage you, and feed your mind with things that help you grow. When you do this, you'll be amazed at how quickly your life can transform. You're not a product of your circumstances. You're a product of your environment. So take control of that environment and watch yourself rise to the next level. Number 7. Act instead of waiting. The time for waiting is over. Every day that you put off acting is a day you'll never get back. We've all been there thinking that we'll start tomorrow, or next week, or once we have the perfect plan. But let me tell you this, tomorrow is never promised, and there's no such thing as a perfect plan. The perfect time is right now. If you want change in your life, it's time to stop waiting and start acting. You see, people love to talk about what they want, what they dream of, what they would do if they just had the right circumstances. But the truth is, circumstances will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, always be obstacles, always be things that make it seem like now isn't the best time to act. But if you keep waiting for everything to line up perfectly, you'll never get started. The key is to take action, even when the conditions aren't perfect. The best time to start is right now, with what you have, where you are. Here's the thing, we all have goals, dreams, and ambitions. But how many of us are actually taking the steps to achieve them? How many of us are sitting back, waiting for someone to give us permission, or waiting for the perfect opportunity? Let me tell you something, there's no one coming to give you permission. You have to take it for yourself. You have to decide that you're ready right now to start moving forward. And that starts with taking the first step. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. It doesn't matter if you don't have the perfect plan, the perfect resources, or the perfect circumstances. What matters is that you start. When you take that first step, you start building momentum. And momentum is what will carry you through the tough times. Momentum is what will keep you going when things get hard, when the doubts start creeping in, when it feels like you're not making progress, but you will make progress. The key is to keep moving, even when it feels like nothing is happening. You know, the most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by waiting. They didn't sit around waiting for the perfect time. They took action. They made mistakes. They failed. And then they got up and tried again. They didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They took imperfect action. And that's what made all the difference. This doesn't mean you should jump into things without thinking. It doesn't mean you should make rash decisions or ignore the necessary planning. But what it does mean is that you need to stop waiting for everything to fall into place before you take action. Take that first step, even if it's just a small one. That first step will lead to the next, and the next. And before you know it, you'll be making progress that you never thought possible. So often, we think that success requires some grand, monumental effort. We think we have to have everything figured out before we begin. But success is built on the small, consistent actions we take each day. It's the things we do when no one is watching. It's the decisions we make when it feels like nothing is happening. When you act even in the face of uncertainty, you start building the foundation for success. And that foundation is stronger than any one big leap. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is overthinking. They get so caught up in the details trying to make everything perfect that they never take action. They spin their wheels, stuck in analysis paralysis, and as a result, they stay exactly where they are. If you're waiting for the perfect moment to start, you're wasting time. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. You know, the thing that separates those who succeed from those who don't isn't talent or resources, it's action. The people who succeed are the ones who take action. Even when they don't feel ready, even when they don't have all the answers, they trust that by taking action, they'll learn, they'll grow, and they'll figure things out along the way. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. Just take that first step and trust that everything else will fall into place. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? And here's the thing, failure is part of the process. It's not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every successful person has failed. They've made mistakes, they've stumbled, they've faced setbacks, but they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as feedback. They learned from it, adjusted, and kept moving forward. If you never take action because you're afraid of failure, you'll never know what you're capable of. You'll never reach your full potential. And that's a tragedy, because you have something incredible inside of you. But it can't be unleashed if you're too scared to take the first step. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about one thing you've been putting off. One thing that you've been waiting for the right time to do. Maybe it's starting a new project, learning a new skill, or making a big change in your life. Now, I want you to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to take action on that thing today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Even if it's just a small step, take that step and trust that the momentum will build from there. There will never be a perfect time, but there's no better time than right now to start. You have everything you need to begin. Don't let fear, doubt, or perfectionism hold you back. Your dreams are waiting for you to take action. Your future is waiting for you to show up. So stop waiting, get started now, and watch how your life begins to change. Number 8. Time is your greatest asset. Time is the most valuable asset you have. Once it's gone for good. You can't get it back. You can't buy more of it. Every second that passes is a second you'll never see again. So why do so many of us waste it like it's endless? Why do we put off the things that matter most, as if we have an infinite supply of time? The truth is, we don't. We have no guarantee of tomorrow. And the time you waste today is time you'll never get back. Let that sink in. Time is your greatest asset. It's the one thing you have that you can't replace. And yet so many people take it for granted. Letting it slip through their fingers. They get distracted by the noise, by the meaningless stuff, by the things that don't matter. And while they're doing that, time keeps ticking away. And one day they wake up and realize they've wasted years. Years they can never get back. I want you to really think about how you're spending your time right now. What are you doing with it? Are you putting it towards things that move you forward? Things that bring you closer to your goals? Or are you just letting it slip away? Because here's the reality. What you do with your time right now will determine where you'll be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. The decisions you make today will shape your future. Every minute you waste is one you'll never get back. I know what it feels like to look at the clock and realize that time has passed, and I haven't done enough. I've been there. We all have. But the key is not to dwell on it, not to beat yourself up for the past. The key is to take control of what you have left. Time isn't about how much you have. It's about how you use it. It's about making the most of every single second. That's what successful people do. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for the stars to align. They make every moment count. If you're serious about making a change in your life, If you're serious about reaching your goals, then you need to stop wasting time. You need to be deliberate about how you spend it. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to move closer to your dreams. And it's another chance to make sure that you don't look back with regret, wishing you had done things differently. We've all heard the saying that time flies. But have you ever really thought about it? Time flies because it doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't wait for you to get your act together. It doesn't wait for the right conditions to fall into place. It just keeps moving, whether you're ready or not. And it's easy to get caught up in the small distractions of life. It's easy to get sidetracked. But those distractions, those moments of procrastination, those periods of inaction, they're stealing your time. They're taking you away from the things that really matter. Imagine where you could be a year from now if you took every moment seriously. If you stopped waiting for the perfect time to start. If you stopped putting things off for tomorrow and started today. Think about the progress you could make. Think about how much closer you could be to your goals, to your dreams, to the life you want to live. Every minute you put towards your goals brings you one step closer. Every hour of hard work, every second of focus, moves you forward. But if you keep wasting time, if you keep putting things off, if you keep waiting for things to feel right, you're going to miss out on everything that could be. Don't wait for time to magically work in your favor. It won't. You have to take action. You have to start now. You have to make the most of every single day, because time won't wait for you. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your doubts. It keeps moving, and the clock doesn't stop for anyone. But here's the good news. You can choose how you use your time. You have the power to decide how to spend it. And if you use it wisely, if you focus on what matters most, you'll see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Think about the times in your life when you've made the most progress. Were those the times when you were putting things off? When you were procrastinating? When you were wasting time? Of course not. The times you made the most progress were the times when you took action, when you committed to something, and stayed focused. It's those times when you chose to prioritize what matters, when you chose to use your time wisely. That made the biggest impact. And those are the times that define success. I want you to think about what's really important to you. What do you want to achieve? What do you want your life to look like? Because here's the hard truth. If you're not using your time to work towards those goals, if you're not putting in the effort and the focus that it takes to get there, then you're wasting it. And that's a reality you can't afford to ignore. Time doesn't wait for anyone, so it's time for you to make the most of it. Don't let time slip away. Don't let it pass by without making the most of every opportunity you have. Stop wasting it on things that don't matter. Stop wasting it on distractions. Take control of your time, because once it's gone, it's gone. There's no getting it back. And when you realize that, when you truly understand the value of time, that's when you'll start to make every second count. So I challenge you right now, right this moment, to make a decision. Decide to stop wasting time. Decide to take action. To stop putting things off. To stop waiting for the right moment. Decide to focus on what matters most. And commit to using your time wisely. Every minute you waste today is a minute you'll never get back. So make it count. Time is your greatest asset, and how you use it is everything. Don't let it slip away. Don't let it pass you by. Take control and use it to build the life you want. Number 9, failure is feedback. Failure is not the end. In fact, it's often the beginning of something better. Every time you fail, you get one step closer to success. Failure is not a sign that you're not good enough, or that your dreams aren't achievable. It's just feedback. It's a sign that you need to adjust, pivot, and try again. Failure is simply a teacher, showing you what doesn't work, so you can find out what does. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not failing, it means you're staying inside your comfort zone, never testing your limits, never pushing yourself to do better. But let me tell you something. Real growth happens when you embrace failure, when you accept it as part of the process, and when you learn from it. Every time you fail, you gain knowledge, experience, and strength. It's easy to think that failure means you're not good enough, but that's not true. Failure doesn't define who you are. It doesn't determine your future. It's simply a moment in time, a piece of the journey that shows you what doesn't work so you can move closer to what does. When you fail, it's important to take a step back and look at the situation for what it really is. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Look at failure as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to improve, and an opportunity to get closer to your goals. Failure is not a permanent condition. It's just a momentary setback. And when you understand that, it frees you up to take bigger risks, to make bigger moves, and to push through challenges with a mindset that says, I will not quit. Think about all the people you admire, the ones who've achieved great success. Did they get there without facing failure? Of course not. The truth is, most successful people failed more times than they succeeded. But they didn't let those failures stop them. They didn't quit after the first, second, or 10th setback. They kept going, and each failure taught them something that brought them closer to their goal. The most successful people are the ones who have learned how to get up after falling down, who've learned how to take failure and turn it into fuel for success. It's easy to let failure knock you down, to let it stop you from trying again. But that's not how winners think. Winners look at failure and say, that didn't work, but I'll try again. They look at failure as a stepping stone, not a roadblock. If you're not willing to fail, then you're not willing to succeed. The road to success is paved with failures. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start using failure to your advantage. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or your abilities. It's simply a sign that you're challenging yourself, that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. If you're not failing, it means you're playing it safe. It means you're not pushing yourself hard enough. The only way to truly grow and progress is by failing, learning from your mistakes, and trying again. The more you fail, the more you learn, and the more you grow. Failure is feedback, a valuable tool that shows you where you need to adjust, what you need to improve, and how you can do better next time. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't let it stop you from pursuing your dreams. Failure is not the enemy. It's the ally you need to reach your full potential. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it drive you forward. Because every failure is just a lesson on the way to success. Remember, the most successful people didn't achieve their dreams without falling down. They didn't get everything right on the first try. They failed, they struggled, but they didn't quit. And you shouldn't quit either. Don't let one failure define your journey. Don't let a setback stop you from moving forward. Let every failure be the stepping stone that gets you one step closer to where you want to be. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of something better. It's the moment you learn what works, what doesn't, and what you need to change. So when you fail, and you will fail, don't beat yourself up. Don't give up on your dreams. Learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward. The road to success is built on lessons learned from failure. And each time you get back up after falling down, you're that much closer to your success. If you can accept failure as part of the process, if you can embrace it as the teacher it is, then nothing will be able to stop you. Because success doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from using failure to become better, stronger, and more determined. So don't fear failure. Don't avoid it. Go after it. And when you fail, get back up, learn from it, and keep moving forward. That's the path to success. Number 10, take full responsibility. Taking full responsibility for your life is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. The moment you stop blaming others, stop pointing fingers, and stop making excuses for your situation, you unlock the true potential to change your life. You see, life isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to what happens. The way you react, the decisions you make, the attitude you choose. That's what defines the direction of your life. And when you accept full responsibility for where you are right now, you empower yourself to make the changes necessary to get where you want to be. The truth is, many people go through life blaming their circumstances, their upbringing, their environment, or other people for their lack of success. They say things like, if only I had more money, or if only I had better connections, or if only I had been given a better chance. They spend so much energy looking outside of themselves for the reason they're not where they want to be. But the truth is, the power to change your life is within you, not in anyone else, not in your past, and not in your environment. When you take full responsibility, you are saying, I own this. I am in charge. I am the one who decides my future. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect set of circumstances. You stop waiting for things to change and start changing things yourself. You take control of your thoughts, your actions, and your choices. You recognize that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to fix your problems. It's all up to you. And here's the thing. When you fully take responsibility for your life, it's incredibly liberating. Instead of feeling like a victim, like life is happening to you, you begin to feel like a creator of your own destiny. You realize that you have the power to choose how you respond to every situation, no matter how difficult or challenging it may seem. You realize that your past does not dictate your future. The mistakes you've made, the failures you've experienced, and the hardships you've faced, none of that has to define you. What matters is what you choose to do from here on out. Taking responsibility means owning up to your decisions, both the good and the bad. It means being accountable for the choices you've made, even if they didn't turn out the way you hoped. It means being honest with yourself about where you are and what you've done to get here. And when you own your decisions, you stop blaming others for the outcomes in your life. You take the power back into your own hands, and you start creating the future you want. Taking responsibility also means not letting setbacks or failures hold you back. Life isn't always going to go your way. You're going to face challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But when you take full responsibility, you understand that these are just part of the process. They're not the end of the road. They're the lessons that will help you grow, improve, and ultimately succeed. You don't get discouraged by failure. You embrace it as an opportunity to learn. You don't let difficulties define you. You let them refine you. It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to point to the people or circumstances that you think are standing in your way. But when you do that, you're giving up your power. You're allowing your circumstances to control your life. The truth is, life doesn't owe you anything. Nobody owes you success, happiness, or a smooth path. But the good news is that you don't need anyone's permission to take control of your own life. You have everything you need within you to create the life you want. But it starts with taking responsibility. When you take full responsibility, you stop waiting for things to get better on their own. You stop waiting for the world to change. You understand that the change has to come from within. You take action even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You make the best of what you have right now and move forward. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or make mistakes. It doesn't mean things will always go as planned. But it does mean that you have the power to learn from those mistakes, to adjust your course, and to keep moving forward. It means you no longer let life happen to you. You make life happen for you. You don't let your circumstances control your actions. You take responsibility for them and control your actions, regardless of your circumstances. Taking full responsibility also means you're in charge of your own growth. No one else can do the work for you. No one else can learn the lessons for you. You have to be the one to put in the effort, to do the hard work, and to make the sacrifices. And when you do that, the rewards are yours. You build the life you want, not because of luck or chance, but because of your own choices, effort, and determination. You may have had setbacks in the past. You may have made mistakes. But it's not too late to take control. It's never too late to decide that you are going to own your life and your future. No one else is going to do it for you. It's all on you. And when you take responsibility for that, you unlock your full potential. You stop being a passenger in your own life and start becoming the driver. You stop being a spectator and start being the creator of your own story. So take responsibility for where you are right now. Own your choices, your actions, and your future. Don't wait for someone to rescue you or for your circumstances to change. Change starts with you, and it starts right now. Your future is in your hands. And the moment you accept that, you'll realize how much power you truly have to create the life you want.